job growth is strongest in states that have right-to-work laws. A right-to-work law is a statute that prohibits agreements between labor unions and employers that govern the extent to which an established union can require employees' membership, payment of union dues, or fees on a condition of employment, either before or after hiring. Do you believe Connecticut should become a right-to-work state to promote economic development and growth?
Mr. French.
Thank you for that question, and it's a very good question. I'm a small businessman in Willimantic. I used to have a very large business at one time. It was a lumberyard. And I think people should have a choice. They should have a choice. What if they work a 40-hour week and they have a paycheck? They shouldn't be forced to have a certain amount of union dues taken out. I'm not opposed to unions whatsoever, but they need to be competitive. And being in the private side of the industry, nothing probably upsets me more than to see if you really want a good job done, you hire a union. Well, I'll argue that any day of the week if you're in my industry. But they have the right to exist. You have the right to join it. But I think people should not be forced to join it. I just don't see that as what the American dream was. So at this point, I am much in favor of a free open policy. Thank you.
Ms. Fletcher, your response, please.
I thank you for the question, and I would oppose moving forward with right-to-work laws in Connecticut for a number of reasons. First of all, I think that unions help provide people with protections to have good paying jobs. I think one of the reasons we've seen a growth in income inequality in this country has been a decline in union membership and people having the good paying jobs that union membership can often provide. And I think we need to look no further than Wisconsin to see what happens when you move towards a right-to-work system. Ever since Wisconsin made those changes a couple of years ago, they've actually seen their economy shrink. I think that's the wrong direction for Connecticut to move in. It brings wages down, and I think we need to protect the rights of workers to collectively bargain.
Rebuttal, Mr. French.
Well, I believe in competition, and that's what's going to drive wages. If any of us remember back in the days of the middle 80s when the economy was really hot and going, McDonald's was paying $8 to $9 an hour back then in the 80s because to get a good workforce, that's what they had to pay. Competition, as you know in business, and most of us are business people here, competition is going to drive what you need to do. If you want quality people, you're going to have to go out and pay for it. So it will be driven. It doesn't have to be supported by a law that says this is how much you get per hour. The free market enterprise, which is what this country was built on, is going to be able to do that. And May, you talk about shrinkage. I haven't seen a state in the country that has shrunk more than the state of Connecticut. It is in the worst shape of any state in this country. And we are putting more and more taxes and fees on our backs to be able to create our industry to work. Whenever we have a problem, we look inside and say, where are we going to cut? Insurance, lighting, heat, whatever it may be. We have to make it work. The state does the other thing. They actually turn around and just tax you.
All right, thank you. Ms.